Joining me now is Taylor West. She's the Deputy Director of the National Cannabis Industry Association, and Mark Lustig, CEO of Canna Royalty, the king of cannabis, I guess you'd say. Taylor, I want to start with you. I want to play some comments White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer made on Thursday about marijuana and get your reaction. Here he is.
I do believe that you'll see greater enforcement of it. Because, again, there's a big difference between the medical use, which Congress has, through an appropriations rider in 2014, made very clear what the intent of what their intent was in terms of how the Department of Justice would handle that issue. That's very different than the recreational use, which is something the Department of Justice, I think, will be further looking into.
When you hear those words, do you think that they're going to have a chilling effect on your industry? Taylor?
Well, they're certainly disappointing to hear, given that they directly contradict what President Trump said multiple times on the campaign trail, which is that he believes marijuana should be a state-by-state issue and that the federal government shouldn't interfere. You know, it's also disappointing because it directly contradicts the values of economic growth and limited government that Republicans are supposed to embrace. You know, this is a small business-driven industry that's responsible for tens of thousands of jobs, billions of dollars in economic impact, and they're doing all of this while playing by the rules that are being set by state and local governments. So I think it would be a huge mistake on the part of the Justice Department to try to overthrow these voter-approved programs and send all of that economic impact back to criminals and cartels.
Well, as you mentioned, you know, the cannabis industry has become this economic powerhouse, producing thousands of jobs. Interestingly, attracting a lot of female executives. Why do you think that's the case?
You know, it's a new industry, so it doesn't have these built-in structures over generations that have tended to favor men simply for no other reason than because they were there first. There is a real opportunity here for women to come in on the ground floor. And when you have women in leadership positions, that tends to lead to more women in leadership positions. It's been a really exciting thing to see, and it's also something that this industry and the movement that helped create this industry has really made a priority in terms of advancing.